But Extra Salt against Team 1 earlier this Premier season, John,
Yep.
that was a 16-1 victory.
I gotta be honest, I was extremely surprised with the results of that first BO3 of the Premier season. 16-1, like you said, on Inferno, and 16-6 on Nuke. Only 7 rounds picked up by Team 1. Since that point, Team 1 won all of their BO3s, and Premier went 7-1, so maybe it was just a bit of rust. You know, they were coming from Pro League and didn't have the results they were expecting there, so look, maybe they'll come back here and they'll be practiced up and ready. As we get into the pistol round, JT's going to tag up X and S for a little bit of damage. But I think the difference between Team 1 and Extra Salt is that Team 1 are struggling to find that support structure for Mobs, right? Mobs is usually the one who's standing on his head to get everything done, whereas Extra Salt have 5 players who can all perform individually extremely well.
Yeah, if you look at the ADR stats alone, Mobs sitting at 86.9 the last 3 months. The next closest is Pesa at 76.
Exactly.
There's no support structure, and I like how you mentioned that, because it is literally just Mobs go kill, and hopefully we have enough to get the clutches out, which actually Team 1 have had a couple players in that 6-kill clutch ratio in Premier this past season, with both Pesa and XNS, or rather Pesa and PRT. But speaking of PRT, he's going to get domed early on, and Extra Salt are reading this well with the extra rotations over. It's going to be hard pressed for Team 1 to get the site control, but XNS jumps in, and he takes down 2. That kill onto Floppy is nothing short of spectacular. That's a big pistol round to at least have a good chance of winning with a bomb going down. Retake in for Extra Salt, and I think there's a kit down on site. Yes, it is. It's down towards Dark, but the Molotov and a nade still in the hands of Maluki, it's going to be hard for Extra Salt to even get anywhere they want, all grouped up.
Yeah, they're going to try and go for this retake now. XNS staring at the smoke. Couple of players waiting there. They're biding their time. Do they have the kit? They don't. They have to get these frags quickly, and they do. There are 2. XNS still standing. Will he go down? He won't. He's going to find... Oh, almost all 5. Maluk took the last one from him on Fang. What a round for XNS as Team 1 take the 1-0 lead. And this is something I want to talk about as well, because, you know, you do have Team 1. They rely on Mobs a lot, but when things start to click, it's usually XNS who starts to pick up his game and support Mobs extremely well. That was the case back in the playoffs in Season 37 of Premier. He was one of their best players, behind Mobs, of course, and even Pesa was performing well. Another thing to mention, of course, is that PRT has maybe found his rhythm again. We don't know, but in Premier, he played really well. His kill-to-death differential leads the team at plus 72 and a KDR of 1.27. Same story there. So PRT clicking again, and if XNS and Pesa can find their games too, then Team 1 become a very dangerous squad once more. And those are the players, as mentioned, that defeated Extra Salt in that grand final in Premier Season 37. So we'll see.
Yeah. And also their run through DreamHack North America 46 was also highlighted by XNS, leading the charts in most major statistics. So he's definitely a player to keep an eye on if he's popping off. Thing's able to pop 1 on the Deagle, though, but he gets shredded out instantly. But the damage done to Pesa and Mobs is something to be considered. Still 2 players on the site, 4v3 in the favor of Team 1. OC has a scout in hand, a very dangerous man with this weapon. Floppy has an MP9 in rotation back to the ace site, so they should make it in time. But if they rotate in through... They're going to go back through arches. Floppy swings a little too late. He gets the first and second. A lot of damage on the PRT. And he catches a big couple of kills. But XNS is waiting in the wings for the next player to face, and that would be JT. He's a victim. And now it's all down to OC, but he's picked up a Galil. And while he might be the opera for Extra Salt, he's still incredibly good with the rifles.
Yeah, I don't know about this season, but last season in Premier, he actually had more rifle frags than he did op frags, which you don't see very often for a primary opper, but he's really that versatile. As OC's going to go in here, he has sights of the 1v1s, and it's being given to him. He gets 1. There you go. PRT's down. XNS, the last one standing, 5-0 right now. OC fakes the defusal. He's looking towards CT, not towards Coffins. That's where XNS is coming from. But both players do not have visibility on the other, and OC, without the kit, is going to have to fall off of this one. He was hoping XNS would peek around, and eventually he does, and he actually gets the headshot on OC. Wow, XNS kicking things off well here.
That's still some good damage, though, for Extra Salt.
Yes.
Taking out 4 of the 5 players of Team 1. That's going to be a lot of heavy investment they're going to have to make into this next round. And that also opens up a possibility where if Extra Salt get a couple of kills here, it's going to really make things difficult for Team 1 when the rifles come out for Extra Salt and put them in a bit of that reset scenario. So while it might not be a round win, that's still big in terms of the early economy game.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. Thing is, Extra Salt did force up to make that happen. And you see here, they're only going to bring in pistols into this round. It's going to be P250, make that 2. P250 is 5.7, Deagle, and a USP. No utility, no body armor, and that's why you see a 4-man stack towards A mid. This is probably the best idea given the buy-up that they have, as it could catch off a player. PRT's walking into what will be the meat grinder, but it turns out that he's going to back off. Probably wary of something cheeky like this being up the sleeves of Extra Salt.
Yeah, Team 1 really look aware of this possibility. They're playing very carefully. Great flashbang, and it's going to be a kill, but it's only on the MAC-10, and they know exactly what's up. The jig has been found out. And back towards B go Team 1. XNS holding, ready to farm some more, but he gets chunked down quite considerably. He'll toss that flashbang in fall away mode, and he's going to take down OC, trying to drop down. And XNS will add another couple of kills to his tally. Fang comes in for the backstab, which probably should have been tried a little bit earlier there before sending everybody down to their doom. But still, Team 1, they lose a rifle. They're going to have to reinvest heavily into this next round. No op. Actually, no, there is going to be an op for OC. He has a lot more money than I thought he would. And Extra Salt have a far stronger buy than Team 1 coming into this first gun round.
All right, let's see what Extra Salt can do with the big green in OC's hands, the 4 A1Ss around them. And just talk about Inferno a little bit. Obviously, this is Team 1's pick, so if you look at their stats over the last 3 months, 19 times they played it, not including that crazy overtime tiebreaker that happened at IM Fall. But yeah, 13-6 and a plus 33 round differential, which is really good, but Extra Salt don't really have a weak map. I mean, they're really good on Inferno, Nuke, Overpass, and Vertigo. Beyond Inferno, actually, they have their best round differential, so it's hard to really punish pick Extra Salt, as over the last 3 months, 27 games played on Inferno, 20 wins, only 7 losses, and a plus 132 round differential. As Mobs opens things up with the frag on Floppy, OC finds the response immediately, though, and the utility's coming out. OC's doing work, finds himself a second, looking for the third now. Mobs gives the opportunity, and there it is. OC with the 3-piece. Fang mops up PRT, and only XNS left standing here. Oh my goodness, what a hold from OC at Banana, but Team 1, they had the opportunity to punish Austin, and they couldn't connect.
They did. They had many opportunities onto OC, 3 to be exact, plus a little bit of utility perhaps thrown to the corner, or the sandbags could have helped a lot more, but they're unable to get anything, and OC mops them all up. Even missing a shot, he's still able to compose himself and find the final kill. Out on the box, Fang's very exposed, and XNS looks to be popping on all cylinders, like a V8 engine humming. But Extra Salt, without OC, it's a round that goes the way of Team 1 instantly. There's a bit of a miscue towards the half wall, too, with Floppy swapping to utility instead of holding his gun out. He got caught with his pants down and got bailed out by his opper.
That he did. But here's another interesting stat for you, Austin. Extra Salt actually have a 10-game win streak on Inferno right now. What did I say about not being able to punish pick them? And included in that win streak, wins against Sprout, Renegades, and Mad Lions in order to qualify for Pro League this season. Those are the teams they had to beat. Not easy customers.
No. That Renegades and Sprout win especially stick out in my mind.
Yep.
So, Extra Salt, very good on Inferno. I think they're, 20-7 in the last 3 months on the map? So,
yeah, that's
definitely tough customers. Look at the buy from Team 1. It's a Force John, Tech 9s, Eagles, and a Galil. A decent amount of utility considering all things, but it's not exactly what they would have liked on round number 5 after a 3-0 start, and you have to go back to that second round, bit of damage done by Extra Salt.
Yes.
This is the situation they put themselves in, to be able to reset Team 1 and hope they win this round clean, and Marky's making a good case for that. He might be getting harassed, but he's still able to get 2.
Yeah, I mean, Pace is going to be able to get on the site, and he does find himself a couple, and a third on OC, makes it a 2v2, and now Extra Salt have to rotate their 2B players over to try and retake this site. That's a great play from Pesa in this round. They've got an op in their hands as well. Maluk, happy to use that, of course. JT, waiting for the Molotov to dissipate, and Maluk could get a flank on him if JT is not wise to this. It will be a 2v1 in favor of Team 1. Yeah, Maluk has a free frag here. JT's gonna go down, all up to Floppy. He's been the star lately for Extra Salt, but he doesn't realize Pace is in Graveyard. And Team 1, despite the fact that one did not start off well for them, they pull it back and pick up a 4th for themselves.
Yeah, that was a messy hold on the A side. It started so well, too, with Marky getting that initial double.
Yeah.
But once Team 1 busted out onto the site, it just collapsed for Extra Salt. It was not clean whatsoever. It was incredibly messy and grindy, and a lot of good work done by Pesadillo to clear out that A site. Very difficult place to play with so many different angles for the CTs to hide on, but he was not deterred. And then Maluki with that ops flank. Absolutely brilliant on the finisher.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he gave himself a free frag and secured the round with that frag. JT is now going to peek around. Oh, good damage done from the utility of Team 1. The nades connecting on Floppy to bring him down to only 10 HP. JT gets connected on a little bit as well, but he's not too worse for the wear at 84. Floppy can still hit those 1-deeks. Ever dangerous. Malbs is going to charge up here, and he will take care of business on JT. Maluk finds OC, and Malbs should be able to get this one. He does. That's a 5v2 in favor of Team 1, and the eco, well, goes as you would expect for Extra Salt.
Well, here's the thing to consider. Team 1 have already got 4 more rounds than they did the last time these two teams met on this map.
Well, yeah.
That's a good start for them mentally.
It's hard, like I said, it was hard to use that as a benchmark because of where Team 1 were coming from. Probably feeling a little down on themselves. Confidence wasn't necessarily high after going 0-5 in Pro League for a second time. And they were just adjusting, of course, to the time zones again, coming back from Europe and into North America. So could have been a lot of different factors going on there. I honestly wasn't expecting a blowout from either side, but so far it's looking pretty good for Team 1. Fang gonna get that headshot on Malbs and picks up the AK. If he can save the AK, it's good, and he doesn't. XNS cleans him out, and Marky will just have to be happy with the Steagle.
And it's gone. Good try there from Fang, but he cannot hold on. Yeah, I wasn't expecting a blowout either, but I was wondering if maybe there would be some sort of a cloud hanging over Team 1's head because of that map.
Clearly
Instead,
not.
it looks like Extra Salt may have come in here with a little bit of overconfidence. Because that's almost what it seems like to me. They don't look as sharp as they normally have been.
Yeah, perhaps so. I mean, they're going to be back on a full-on buy. I think it's only their second full-on buy so far,
Correct.
given how the economy has gone. So, we'll see. OC, always lethal, gets caught out here. Oh my goodness, if Maluk had taken a step to the right a little sooner, he would have had the opening frag, but OC does escape.
That's a good pickup down Banana. Onto Malbs of all people, too. Just caught out unawares on Banana. OC's very low, but with Malbs gone, a lot rests on the shoulders of the likes of XNS. Good flashes coming back and forth. It's a great counter for OC. He might catch one. No! Just a little late on the shot. XNS able to dash in towards Boiler. A pressure heavy from Team 1, but 4 players here from Extra Salt to defend. 2 towards the site, 2 towards the arches. 1 in Cubby. The crossfire between Floppy and Fang is a very strong one and hard to clear out. Marky dodges a flashbang. Lineup for 2. Sprays him down. Fang picks up the other 2 out towards brackets. And Extra Salt, a flawless round on the board. Do not opt for the double op. And what a response coming in from the Salters.
There you go. That's more of what we expected to see from Extra Salt CT side. Certainly, Team 1's done a good job on T side, but Extra Salt flubbed a couple of rounds, in particular the one where Pesa got a 3K. It was a nice 3K, but Extra Salt had control of that site and really no reason to lose it. So, Extra Salt pick up their second. Team 1 still had enough to fall back on, but should they lose this round, they will be on an eco. 3 AKs and 2 Galils coming forward for them. And the thing for Extra Salt is they have a gluttony of talent. Like I mentioned earlier, Zosi's going to take a shot here after being flashbanged and then back off. But you have Floppy, OC, and Fang, who can all frag out so well. Marky, in particular, I should say, on top of that, you have Marky, who's a consistent fragger. Is always there and reliable. So you have 3 stars. You have Marky as well, who is a star in his own right, and then JT, who I consider one of the more calm, cool, and collected IGLs at the Premier level.
I would definitely put him at one of the top IGLs at this level in the region for sure. And the thing about Marky, too, is a clutch player. He's always able to come up big in those hard pressure situations. But the B side overwhelmed again, both Floppy and JT falling. Only 1 trade back in return from the Extra Salt squad. Bomb going down, and Marky actually getting that opening kill into Malbs. Now the rotations are going to flood back. I think, wait, no. They're going to call it quits, John. They don't want to even test the waters here.
I understand that because they weren't really in position. 2 of the other players were on the A site. Marky was by his lonesome and he was trying to retreat and got caught off. But another good take by Team 1. They're up to 6 here, and Extra Salt can't find their rhythm.
No, they can't.
I think the biggest surprise here is that Floppy is sitting at 2-7, and I don't think he's really had very many bad performances throughout that 19-2 BO3 run, right? So maybe he'll start to heat up a little bit as things go on here.
Yeah, the game didn't start off well for him, and that's always something that's hard to overcome, is when things just seem to be going against you, the timing issues and all of that, something that can tilt you very easily. But you can't put all of this on Floppy either. There's been other opportunities for other players, and things just haven't been looking too sharp for Extrasalt as a whole. It's not just him.
I'm not only putting on him, of course. It's always a team effort. Just it's a surprise to me to see him having these issues. But I guess it's also because he's playing at the B site, right? And he's always going for those retakes at A.
I just think they all look off.
Yeah.
Like, that's a jump that OC should hit every single time. If they lose this round, you have to see a timeout coming through from Extrasalt, right? They need to regroup.
I would say so. That's a nice shot from OC to open things up on Maluk. Oh, great nade right on back from Team 1. Can they capitalize on it? Not yet, and not at all. Mobs and Pesa go down. Only PRT and XNS left standing, and they've lost all control of Banana that they had.
Yeah, what little control they had was swiftly mopped up. A couple good shots from OC, a great flash from JT, and a good mop up there by Floppy to the player top car. XNS has the bomb, he's stuck in logs. And Team 1 are stuck down to a 2v5. Extrasalt looking to put another flawless victory on the board, which would mean 2 of their 3 CT rounds have been flawless wins.
Yeah.
Which is great for them, but they just need to be able to replicate that more than just these moments of brilliance. And these moments of brilliance they have had have mostly rested on the shoulders of OC and his op.
Well, which happens sometimes. Yeah. I mean, they do have to lean on him a little bit. I would say less often. It's not always that they have to do that. It's more often than not they're able to kind of get things going with the rifles and support OC well, and everyone frags out. But JT and Floppy are going to get the last 2 frags there, and Extrasalt get a 3rd on the board. Like you mentioned, I think maybe even in all 3 of their victories, they've had 5 players standing. Maybe it was 4 in the first one.
They lost Floppy in the first round, though.
Yeah, okay, so it was 4 in the first one and then 5 in the other. Yeah, they've been very clean. They just can't, like you said, they can't consistently do that for whatever reason. But that's how good they looked in that 16-1 win against Team 1. That's what they were doing every single round. That's
what they've been doing for the last 21 BO3s where they're 19-2. They've been crisp and concise and just all firing on all cylinders every single round. Now things go a little bit the way of Team 1, getting some car control. They're on a bit of a broken buy again, 4 Deagles and an AK, but OC is still in a good position to shut them down on this push. And here comes a Molotov from Floppy. He's going to do a little bit more damage here. JT, though, gets caught out. Floppy sprays down 1. He's got a second. OC's gone, but Floppy's still holding down the site. Retreats back towards Coffins. Molotov prep, drops that down. Bomb cannot go down just yet. XNS awaiting the time. Has a smoke in his hand, wondering where to throw it, if to throw it, and when. Floppy's still lurking. He's still dangerous. Nade is ready to go. Here's the taps. Nade goes out. Should do about half damage. Actually, no. Marky and Floppy combine on that AG. They're going to take out XNS. And that's going to make things even more difficult. Another molly to stall the plant. Team 1 have no room to breathe, despite having seen nobody from Extrasalt.
Oh, and Extrasalt didn't even bite on that fake plant. They continue to wait. Marky has a flashbang. He's looking to toss that one, but he's got 2 players closing in on him. They're trying to go rotate around to the A site. Marky's waiting for this. Oh, it's a mistake from Team 1, and Marky punishes them for it. 3K comes through. Surprised they made that choice, to be quite honest with you. I thought they would go down Banana, which wasn't covered, but obviously, you know, the play was maybe they figured they could slip by the players inside construction. They were lined up more for the hit from Coffins. Unfortunately, doesn't go that way, and Extrasalt pick up their first 2 consecutive round victory. I'm going to restart there. They pick up 2 rounds in a row for the first time.
Yeah, that first string's going to be big for Extrasalt, and they do it in brilliant fashion. It wasn't the guns that won them that round. It was the utility that time. And that's another thing that Extrasalt is so good with, is their utility usage. And we're starting to see that right there. The nade combination between Floppy and Marquis, the Molotovs.
Yeah.
2 Molotovs onto the coffin plant spot, forcing that fake plant into the open, which you really don't want to take that plant opportunity against A1S's, because chances are you're going to get spammed down. Just so good on the utility. Marquis, too, just holding, using a lot of his utility to buy more time. The flash was prepped, but I think he got a jiggle peek onto the players starting to push down towards tree, which is why he held his gun out there at the end and was ready for that take. Regardless of that fact, Extra Salt brilliant in that round.
Oh, absolutely. I do in particular admire that nade, the patience to throw it right. As soon as they hear the plant go down, they figure out it has to be in default spot, perfectly tossed, and then a little bit of additional damage done with the gun, I think it was Floppy, to seal the deal and deny Team 1 a plant in the round, which means their economy was not able to be built up enough to get a decent buy-up into this one. OC, catches the lay. They're trying to bail out the shot. They do, but it leads to a frag anyway. Maluk goes down. Mobs with his deagle can't do anything either. JT continues to spam on forward if anyone tries to peek into it, and Floppy supporting too. This is a very tough defense to get through, especially with pistols only, and PRT will drop as well. 5v2 for Extra Salt. Now a 5v1, perhaps another perfect round. There it is. 5 for Extra Salt.
That's 3 perfects now for Extra Salt in one half. That's not a number you see every day, especially against competition the tier of Team 1. That's a very good sign for Extra Salt, and now that the gap has been closed to only 1 round, and this buy-up from Team 1 isn't even the strongest, their utility is still lacking again. Mobs is relegated to a Galil, so we can get a full belt of util. That banana control that we're starting to see from Floppy and JT is going to be more and more difficult to overcome, regardless of whether you have the rifles, because this is what allows that banana control to happen as well. Fake's just gonna push down middle. Easy pickup on the Mobs. The flashbang comes in from JT. Maluki's gonna push forward and actually get the trade for free. But JT's been allowed to hold. Pace has been chunked down low, and OC still posted up with the op as well. There's not even an escape from T-ramp for Team 1 right now.
Oh, nice nade. It didn't connect for as much damage as I thought, but Maluk still goes down to 76, a softer target for Floppy and JT to deal with, and they're lined up so well for it. JT gets 2, Floppy gets the last one after JT drops. Excellent trade, and PRT's the last one standing. He actually stepped into that Molotov a little further than he wanted to, and now he's down to 70, but, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's going to take a heroic effort for him to pull this one off, and he's surrounded now. Waiting for it, 1v1, he gets it. Floppy finds it, but unfortunately for PRT, Marquis was peeking around from mid, and he is dropped. So a 6th round picked up. Extra Salt come back from a 6-1 deficit and tie this one up at 6-6. Nicely done, and I think that's really concerning for Team 1, right? Considering how they lost in that previous BO3 on Inferno against Extra Salt. Not to mention, Extra Salt's T side is phenomenal.
Oh, yes, it is. Their T side is absolutely amazing. 61.7% win rate on their, 57% win rate on their T side, but 61.7 on CT. Fantastic work. But then you look at Team 1, who are better on their T sides, John. 55% win rate versus 48.6.
Oh!
What? Double nade for JT? OC's picked up another one as we're going into the stats here. Yeah, it's a bit of a pistol buyout for Team 1, but still, a 4th flawless, 4 Extra Salt, and look what that means for the money. 14K, 13K, 10K. So much money on the CT side. They'll be able to buy out for the rest of the half without a problem.
Oh, yeah. And one thing to note that seems to be a trend is that JT really likes to play on Inferno and has some very good performances when he's here. I mean, I do admire the way JT has played lately. I think he's put some time on the server to improve his overall aim and, of course, fragging ability, which is great because he's at a positive kill-to-death differential, I believe, over the entirety of Premier and over the last month.
Look at Pesa. They're not going to expect this. Floppy's blind, and then he's finished off by Pesa, just lurking around behind. JT will trade, but he still has to be aware of the player behind him. He's split from his teammates, and he's falling lamed out of position. ERT going to be the one to take him down, but it could have been any number of Team 1 players. OC's rotating in towards B, trying to stop this push towards the site. As the off in hand will not get flashed as a collateral, and now things go from bad to worse for Team 1. OC gets the collat, rotations are on their way, and the flank from Fang can come through too. The bomb was mollied, Maluki recovers it, he's going to clear it back, he's going to run right into Fang, he's got his knife out, he's not ready, he's got time though, but the time is now all down to Maluki. First kill out of 3 necessary has been achieved, but OC had eliminated his teammate in the meantime, and look who's on the hunt back towards A, it's Marky. No utility to stop the plant. Maluki will get this down. And hopefully for Extra Salt's sake, Marky does not go for the 1v1 duel. He catches the timing. And that's just luck right there for Marky.
I mean, a lot of confidence from Marky. He's so good in those clutch situations, so I guess he isn't really going to be fearful of trying for that 1v1. He probably has a lot of confidence in OC as well, and that's what you get when you have a lot of chemistry that is built up over the months. 8-6 in favor of Extra Salt heading into the 15th and final round of play in this first half. Extra Salt on a 7-0 run.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it just feels like Team 1 have fallen silent and everything kind of going the way of Extra Salt. A double nade coming for JT. OC with the collat in the previous round. Oh, man.
Run boost?
Yeah, they missed it. They missed it.
I love the run boost. It's always fun. But the op, I think, will still find a mark or two in this round. It always seems to, in OC's hands. You're not going to clear Fang! You're not going to clear Fang! He's got 2 for free! He's so high on health, but he's going to get domed by Pesa to trade it back. 2 for 1, though. Fang will bite those every single day. In comes OC's peak. The smoke will keep Pesa alive. Floppy locking down the B site, though. He's got Carr down to his own control. And as soon as it starts, it ends for Team 1, with Pesa in a 1v4 and the bomb all the way down T-ramp. Well, it was 6-1, but when Extra Salt decided they wanted to turn on the Jets, Team 1 got dried up and taken out. A massive streak of 8 from Extra Salt, and they go into the second half on one of their strong sides. I mean, you really can't call a weak side for Extra Salt and Inferno, can you, John? It just seems that they're just too good on this map.
They really are. I don't know, for Extra Salt, if they're going to go for blitz attack after blitz attack here on their T side and try to really bring it to Team 1, if they're going to take a more slow pace of play. If the pistol round is any indicator, it looks like the more slow pace of play will be the call. JT, the IGL, along with OC, headed towards that B site, and 3 players from Team 1 zeroed in on this position. They got the information, so they're probably going to fall off this and go to A, realizing that 3 players are at this B site. And you see the only player staying back is OC for the time being, but there comes JT to support the push, and Fang finds the opener onto A. XNS smoked out. Excellent coordination here from Extra Salt.
In comes the rotations, but the bomb's going to go down momentarily, and 5 players plus a good amount of utility to hold OC the timing. He's going to get backstabbed. No, Maluki makes noise. He doesn't check the belt, and he barely gets taken out before he deals a finishing blow. Maluki, though, bringing it to a 4v4. Pesa has a 5-7, no armor. Interestingly enough, in that decision, went for a nade and a 5-7 combo from the looks of things. Malbs peeking around, looking for a headshot, but XNS will find Marky instead. 2 towards Pit, make it just 1, as XNS pops up on the pistols again. But here is Fang, he's only good for 1. It's XNS, 3 kills in the pistol round, 4 kills on the first half pistol, and that's both pistols going the way of Team 1. But one caveat, so the bomb went down for Extra Salt. And they can get the Lils into this next round. Mac 10s and utility if they wanted to as well. And I would be surprised if they didn't go for a pretty hefty investment.
I can't believe Team 1 pulled that back. I mean, Extra Salt had everything going their way.
It's XNS again.
It's, man, he's been so good for Team 1. The thing is, Malbs hasn't necessarily been at the top, and so, you know, it's XNS kind of taking care of the brunt of the work, but no one else is really there to support. You saw Pace have one good round, that 3K that really powered Team 1 forward and gave them the opportunity to build up to 6, but since that point, it's been all quiet across the scoreboard. All right, Extra Salt, probably not happy with the result there, but at the very least, they get the bomb plant, which means 4 rifles and the Mac 10 will come through. Arguably a better buy here for Extra Salt than for Team 1. This Floppy is just going to spam on through into that window room and hope he connects on something through the walls, but so far, no dice with 118 remaining. in round 17.
John, it's arguably better to lose that pistol round on CT side than to lose the second round. Especially at this stage of the game.
No, I do agree. It can be very tough if you lose this one. After winning the pistol, and oh no, here we go. Maluk and PRT are down. Both defenders at bracket dropped, and the balcony player XNS, he's been the star for them, but this time he gets shut down after only one, and they needed more than that. I think Team 1 are just going to fall off this completely and call for the save even before the bomb is planted.
They have to. They have no money into the next round. They're going to have to force back into this. So the MP9's the utility, especially on Pesadillo with a molly and a smoke and a flash all together, is going to be so important for them to try and strike back at the heart of Extra Salt. There's an M4A1 that Floppy's picked up. I'm sure JT will upgrade from that Mac 10 soon enough to a Galil. There it goes. So a rifle donated into the hands of Extra Salt too. And that's actually going to be 2 A1Ss for the price of free for Extra Salt.
Jeez.
And there's not going to be a lot of head armor, I don't think, on Team 1's side next round, John. This is going to be A1S farm territory for Extra Salt. Also, they've got double digits. So, there's another thing that's going against Team 1 right now. Extra Salt, they might have lost the pistol, but they're definitely in the driver's seat.
Yeah, now, of course, Team 1... you only get the $1,400 loss bonus. Do you just force up and then go for the double save at this point?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't look like they want to, but you see Pesa getting that utility, and yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah. You have to try and break that serve back. You've already lost a serve game, John. You have to break, or else this game's going to become out of control, and the first set's going to go to Extra Salt. You have full rifles and plenty of utility. The 5.7s can be a menace on this map of Inferno. The Deagle can strike as well as the SMGs. There's a good amount of utility for Team 1, too, which is one bright spot they have going for them currently. But I actually like the way Extra Salt is playing this, waiting for some aggression down middle, which a lot of times you'll see teams go for a push or a nade stack with these sorts of buys. They're trying to cross everything off as they go and make sure there's nothing left to chance.
Extra Salt sending a couple of players as forward scouts here, down banana. The bomb will follow them. That is in OC's hands, but he is waiting for some space to be opened up and also trying to open up space with a flashbang throw. And this is a great call from Extra Salt. Team 1, of course, limited in their buy-up, are stacking up towards the A site. So once Extra Salt realizes only one player here, if they realize it, should be an easier hit. But that one smoke, is that going to be enough to drive them off? We'll see. A peek here from Malbs. Could be his undoing as Fang is waiting right there. And you see Marky, he's lined up in those apartments. But Malbs backs off. He's going to hold a more passive angle. I think that's the right play, as now he's got the support of Pesa, at least briefly. I think Pesa just came to throw that smoke and give the illusion of more presence, but Fang isn't buying it. He's going to push on forward, and now OC's back with the bomb on his back. Malbs waits, doesn't get anything. JT drops him with very little health left, but that's what they needed. Marky tries to go for one at the A site. He will get drops. That's a rifle picked up, a Galil in fact with PRT, but Fang is waiting to mop up anyone that comes through CT, and you have to imagine that Team 1 will probably be on another save.
I mean, they might as well throw like Maluki without his armor at this one. Keep PRT on the Galil and keep XNS alive, but it's definitely worth sending that 5.7 away. I don't think losing XNS is going to be a good thing for Team 1, though. Deagle armor can always be a menace on a close-range angle. But I, again, just want to reiterate how Extra Salt took that round so slowly, probing every little thing so they didn't get caught off by the stack. That is exactly how you play an anti-force spy.
And one thing I liked is that they didn't give up on probing B, because sometimes, you know, you see the smoke come through, you think, oh, maybe the stack is here, and they fall off of it too quickly. But Extra Salt, experienced, veteran Inferno team, they say, okay, we're going to just fall back just a tad, and then we're going to go poking our noses through once more. And Fang, of course, along with JT, spot out Malbs. They take care of him, and the bomb gets in and is planted swiftly afterwards. So, Extra Salt, after losing the pistol round, regain their composure very quickly, pick up a couple, and now they're up to a 4-round lead.
Big 4-round lead, and again another weak buy coming through from the side of Team 1. Things are looking so good once again for Extra Salt. They just continue to grow off of these leads. They continue to grow off of every little bit they have. And right now, it just seems that Team 1 have no answer, whether it be on the attack or the defense. They continually get walled out of these rounds, and there's no respite for them. There's no answer back. And it's not like they're just being out-aimed. They're being out-stratted. They're being out-called. They're being out-believed. But here comes Mobs with one big deagle. Traded back, though. Pesa needs to stand tall as Extra Salt are about to start to push in on towards this B site. No rotations where? They're going to go back towards A? The bomb's gone down! But now it's time for Marky to strike. This is still a costly round and a dangerous one now for Extra Salt.
Well, I mean, they recovered the bomb, and I think you're right, Mark. You could do so much damage here. He hears the footsteps. He's waiting for the opportunity. There's XNS. Oh, info gained by Team 1, but they might think the hit's coming towards A now, so they stand pat at A, and then, of course, the B site is lost. So, Marky, trying to mop up, gets one. PRT finds a trade and picks up an AK for himself. He can definitely go for this, but the utility's a bit limited, and look where OC is. He's up close and personal. Maybe the barrel of his gun will give him away in this position, but no. PRT doesn't even want to challenge it, although OC, hearing those footsteps, might hunt a little bit. They've got the money, and losing this AK would be costly for Team 1.
Yeah, it would be very bad for Team 1 to drop this AK. It would almost just signal the deathward spiral, because the AK is such a powerful weapon. Give that to Mobs, or I would give it to XNS in this game, because he's been your star man so far. He can tap some heads and give you a big round. Close that gap and keep Extra Salt off of that 13th. And they will succeed in saving the AK over. Maluki goes straight for his op, but that utility or lack thereof is going to be a big concern for him. PRT drops the AK, or keeps the AK. He'll drop an M4 over, and they'll leave XNS on a FAMAS. That's an interesting call, considering how good he's been again.
Yeah, you're right. Thought they might decide to give the AK to him, but guess they just want to kind of go with the status quo. Whoever had the gun keeps it. Alrighty. Extra Salt right now on a 11-1 run since being down 6-1 in this match. Unbelievable turn of events. Pace is going to eat a nade down to 61. Fang's going through the smoke. He's going to try and catch him off guard. He's waiting for his opportunity. There it is. They have no idea. Mob's going to go down through the wall, and Fang flicks around for the second on Pesa. 5v3 just like that, and the B site is lost. It could even be a save called off the bat here for Team 1. They are hunting for information. Maluk is smoked off, though. Maybe he can get one on the boosted player. He legs them, and he gets taken down to 14 in turn. That means not enough damage done. Team 1 will be saving an Extra Salt, secure a 13th.
It's the classic Inferno CT side dilemma.
Yes.
You just run into the save situations where round after round you're forced to capitulate, and you're never able to get anything going. It's a downward spiral. It's just... it's so hard to overcome, because you continually don't have a good buy, but you also can't go for a full save because you have guns. And look what Extra Salt is doing here, John. They're 4-man collapsing onto the A side. They're trying to take these guns away. XNS has one fallen. Maluki's able to get another, but PRT has a flanker.
There you go.
But Floppy uses the information as a bait. Extra Salt took a lot of damage, but they completely wipe out Team 1.
It's absolutely worth it. They had two players that were going to be on 10k plus heading into this round. Hunt, go for it. It's more punishing for Team 1. You could lose all your guns in that situation. Who cares? You know, if you take down every Team 1 member, great. And they did. Team 1, instead of having a proper buy-up now, are stuck on pistols. I say stuck on pistols, but they have one of the best eaglers at the premier level right now, and that is Malls, right? So maybe he can do some damage. You saw him hit a couple of pretty nutty Wandigs already, but they're going to need a lot from him in this round. He's playing towards that B site, and Extra Salt have really abused, I'd say, the B site, but both bomb sites. Oh, he goes down off the docket.
Team flashed, of all things, John.
Yeah.
That is a harsh start here for young Mobs. And Pesadella's going to try and live up to his teammates' expectation, the standard that Mobs himself can deliver with an eagle. He's grouped up with by another, but Marky rather has picked up 2 out towards A. The bomb can rotate, but they're not even going to. There's only one player left, and that's Pesadello. Pesa, can he find Fang? No, he cannot. The bomb is now left. Fang's still standing, and Pesa's no longer. Another flawless round for Extra Salt. That makes 5 flawless rounds this game so far, John. And there seems to be no stopping this team.
And the great news for Extra Salt is that everyone is fragging right now, and this is when they're the most dangerous, of course. You see OC, Fang, and Marky all at 18, Floppy at 15, and JT at 13. Only 5 frags separating top from bottom. And Team 1, right now, just have no answers. They don't know how to deal with this onslaught of firepower. Maluk is going to peek around towards mid with the op, but a great flashbang is being thrown by Extra Salt in order to deny him and push him back further. Marky on the lurk has also been incredible, right?
Oh, yeah. Marky's lurking has been impeccable. Everyone in Extra Salt is doing exactly what the doctor ordered. And in fact, their 3 top players are all at 18 kills apiece. There's a gap of 5 kills between top and bottom. And then you look over at Team 1. 17, 9, 8, 8, 8.
Yeah,
That's
and not to mention is Malbs will get JT, but look at the damage he takes and the rest of his team takes as a result. I don't know. We'll see if this still turns out in favor of Team 1. And one thing to mention as well is that XNS has really quieted down. He's had 17 frags for quite some time. I think he was 17 and 13. And now that's 3 deaths in a row without really much to show for it. And no one else is really kind of stepping up to fill that void. Malbs goes down to Fang on a wicked peak, and Pace is going to try and throw some utility to slow down the push from Extra Salt, but no one is on the B site. A smoke diffuses the Molotov, and now they can walk on in. Fang's going to spam the smoke. Pace could get something done from Coffins. He gets Fang, but immediately traded. Oh man, these trades have been incredible for Extra Salt. Even when they're challenged, they are up to the task. Maluk will drop Marky, excuse me. Make it a 3v2, so Team 1. Fighting tooth and nail to stay in this match and prevent 15, but Floppy is finding his rhythm even more so now. He's up to 17, make it 18, only XNS left as he does find the trade, but OC standing at 100 HP and gonna get this bomb planted. Hope is not good here for XNS, but he still gets it done. Oh my goodness, XNS. He wakes up at the perfect time. We just called him out and said, oh, we haven't seen much from him. Well, there you go. He gets the 2K and clutches out the round.
It's a massive round to win. It keeps Extra Salt off of 15. XNS is not going to find any utility, though, on any of these players. His teammates and the Extra Salt ones have burned through most of their belts. But what a play from XNS. Couple kills in the round. The 1v1 against OC is the most important of them all. That is so important for Team 1 to keep them alive in this game, because going down 15-7, it's almost a death sentence. And you would also have been broke if your Team 1 going to that round. So this is a huge opportunity now.
And they can get a couple of A1Ss here. And a FAMAS along with MP9. Not the full utility, but enough to get the job done. The thing is, their economy is still very fragile. So should they go down 15-8 here, I think it might be curtains. But look, we'll see. Don't get ahead of ourselves. 4 AKs and the AWP for Extra Salt. And they're going to take alt mid control right off the bat.
I think they're going to pick up the pace here a little bit, John. They've waited a little too long last couple of rounds.
Yeah.
They want to stick it to Team 1 now. They get full alls control, pushing forward. The double up on balcony is going to be interesting to deal with, and it's not something you see every day of the week. And I don't think they'll expect this. They'll know at least one is close given that smoke, and they have not heard a drop. Yeah, I think this is a wiser call. Rotate around towards Boiler instead of going towards long hauls. And Extra Salt still might try and take the B site, depending on what JT sees or doesn't see. He's still very pressury over towards B, but no, it's all just a fake. They're gonna walk out A.
Oh no, but they catch him. And PRT's gonna get a couple. Fang and Marky go down. Almost a third. XNS's position is great because Floppy had no idea they double stacked that. It's all up to OC to clutch it out. There's one. Could isolate another 1v1 to make it a very winnable 1v2. As of right now, he still has bomb control. Opts for the A1S instead of the op. And he will get this bomb planted at the very least. We'll see if OC can pull off an incredible clutch. He's staring in the right direction. Pesa gets tagged down to 76. OC flicks around to get Malbs, but he's overloaded. Maluk finds the final frag, and Team 1 hang in there for another round. 9 for them on the board.
It's another big round from Team 1, but Extra Salt still do have enough to buy. The bomb plus the bonus is going to give them more than enough into this round. Fang still at 10k, Floppy still at 12, but that money is going to soon diminish for them. And I think at this point, Extra Salt want to get that next round on the board, get to 15 as soon as possible, because they're giving Team 1 new life. The individuals are starting to come alive again. This is something that Team 1 have been very quiet with for the past several rounds. Almost, if you take away that start, it's been all Extra Salt. Team 1 have been a non-factor in this game, but they're starting to come back into it. And when you let a team back into a game, they become a very dangerous animal to deal with. Double ops now for Team 1 as well. Maluki has his towards B. Might have spotted the top of Fang's head, but no, his nade will go towards deep logs instead of on top of them. Fang is posted. Maluki spots him this time, though. That's another opening kill going the way of Team 1, and that spurs Extra Salt into a fast A take.
Oh, Marky's turned the wrong way here. Boiler player could catch him off. Excuse me, there's no boiler player, so they backed off that position. Never mind. 3 Extra Salt players are headed towards Arch side. 1 falls off to reinforce truck, and look at this. PRT's going to get a double. JT and Marky are dropped. Team 1's defense has suddenly started to prove itself to be a little difficult to get past. They've left some openings that you wouldn't usually expect, but the double stack and pit worked out. Now they've got reinforcements coming through. 4 players here around that drop bomb. But Floppy's just going to go for a hero play. He gets 1, and then the second from a great flashbang thrown from OC. They could get this back. OC with the op. Can't catch off a third, but he tags Pesa down to 22. What a play by OC and Floppy.
If they pull this back, if they're able to get this one on the board for Extra Salt, it would be heartbreak and then some for Team 1. A round they had full control of gets yanked away by individual effort. OC, that's a big miss on some Pesadello's low HP. Floppy swings, but he runs into too many players to count. And Mobs will finish off his friend. It goes down to a 14-10. Double ops are saved as well for the CT side. Extra Salt, do you call a timeout here after a few rounds slide? Definitely does have to seem to be likely, but they are not going to timeout just yet. They're going to buy down to the bottom of their bank accounts and try this one again. MP9 for XNS. Plenty of utility though, but OC gets taken down by Maluki over towards the A site this time. And his op is starting to become a big factor for Team 1's recent successes. PRT forced away by a flashbang. Extra Salt down another opening pick. This is a situation that Team 1 have found themselves in up a man the last few rounds that they've been winning. It's something that they've lacked for a good chunk of this game. Maluki in long haul has XNS with him, and the smoke fades, but the op strikes 1 for 1. Favors Team 1 at this point in the game, in the round. They still had that man advantage to start with. Bomb going back towards B. Pesa and Malbs holding down the B site. They don't have a lot of utility, but they do have the op. And will JT dry peek? Yes, he does. And there goes Floppy, the second player in. Malbs strikes on JT. Fang in a 1v4. Not much he can do.
Oh boy. What a resurgence for Team 1. Like you said, Fang, 1v4, he does have the bomb, but he's completely surrounded. As soon as he peeks around this corner, Malik's going to see him, and oh, missed the shot. Okay. Fang pulls out the nade, tosses it on forward. Malik takes a little bit of damage. There's only 28 seconds left. Fang needs 4 frags and needs to get this bomb planted. Well, he does get the first one on Maluk, and he's hightailing it forward onto that A site. PRT is also doing the same. 17 seconds left now. Fang has to get this opener, maybe even a follow-up. There's only 1 player on the A site, though, and PRT's down. Fang takes a lot of damage in the engagement. Pesa's trying to come for the insta-trade. Fang expecting it. He fires away, but Pesa adds a little bit of BM at the end of it as he gets that frag and saves things for Team 1. Good effort from Fang.
Great effort from Fang. That is, again, damaging the economy of the CT side, which has not been allowed to get strong, despite how good they've been playing as of late. But as it stands right now, Team 1 are back into this game, and Extra Salt are left reeling. Here's the timeout. And here we go. Let's see what they have in store. Give TC a chance to talk, the coach. And I have to think, John, maybe, just go for the fast B.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly wouldn't mind to see Extra Salt go for a quick play at this point. The slow pace of play hasn't really yielded much. Team 1 catching on to everything that Extra Salt has been throwing towards them. And the guns are also falling silent. it feels like Team 1 is going on that run that Extra Salt had earlier, right?
Exactly. Where Extra Salt are now in the spot of Team 1 being basically dead. They're on the server, but there's no life in them. There's no successes. There's no shine. It's just dull. And for Team 1, they're starting to get that momentum back, which is a thing that's just going to grow for them as well. The more confidence they get, the more aggressive peaks they can take, and the more opening picks they can get. One more round in a row, Team 1 get that first pick, Extra Salt start down a man, and with pace on the secondary op, he's going to reveal his position, but he still should be able to get that opening pick over towards B. The utility isn't as sharp for Extra Salt. The plays aren't as crisp as they were either. The spacing's a little off, and you see what happens when the momentum shifts to a different team. It's a completely different game right now. While Extra Salt might have 14 on the board, it takes 16 rounds to win, and that 16th round seems an eternity away.
Oh my goodness. All right, now they got a frag here onto the B site. Only one player left. They're isolating the one in CT. And you see Mobs goes down to Floppy. That's a big one. And JT finds PRT. Extra Salt finally find a way in towards that B site, but it's still not going to be an easy hold. XNS with the P2000 of all things connects on Floppy, and OC and Fang almost dead here. Fang, though, does not care. XNS goes down for the count. Maluk, the last one standing, and the money hasn't exactly been built up well for Team 1 throughout this run, right? Because Extra Salt's still managing to keep them honest, and now OC drops Maluk. Okay, Extra Salt, after losing quite a few in a row, they come back, get a 15th, and it's thanks to some quick, aggressive play down Banana right at the beginning of the round. They just ran right up. Like we said, just go for a simple play. It's exactly what they do. They lose a man, sure, but at least they get the space.
Yeah, what do we say? Fast B.
Yeah.
Go Fast B. And sure enough, Fast B worked out well for Extra Salt.
Man.
It catches Team 1 off guard, and it changes up the pace. They've gotten too comfortable with the slower takes from Extra Salt, and now look what it forces them into. An eco round push down middle, John. This is the prime territory for Extra Salt to try and claim it, but also scary because these can always work. OC's Glock unable to find a kill, but it's a massive amount of damage. Floppy will trade it back. The bomb's still there, and surely Extra Salt sends a player or two to help out Floppy, because he's still marooned alone, and Malves has a deagle shot, now an op in his hands, a 3v3, and this is why these positions are so risky. Big trade by Markey, but here comes Maluki, the bomb in his sights, and an op potentially gained for him as well. Fang's gonna go for the full rotation, and what can he manage? Maluki can get the op. He's gonna go exactly for his big green gun, or I guess it's somebody else's, but doesn't matter, it's his weapon of choice. Does not know where Fang is coming from. There's a ton of time on the clock.
Oh boy. Fang, 50 seconds left. I think he's going for the full-on flanking run. We'll see if he decides to go. Yeah, he's going all the way around, probably through to T-spawn, or at least right outside of T-spawn entrance. And he's going to try and catch off Maluk at the least expected angle. You see Maluk very wary of Banana. He's wary of top mid, but he hasn't even thought of the fact that Fang can come around in his flank. This could be the round. Indeed, it is going to be. Fang getting the headshot. Extra Salt win the first map.